A great white shark has pinged in the Long Island Sound for the first time ever. The shark, named Cabot, pinged off the shore near Greenwich, Connecticut early Monday morning. Cabot, who was tagged by the non-profit Great White Shark Research Group OSRG back in October, weighs 533 pounds and measures 9 feet 8 inches. The group tweeted news of Cabot's arrival on Monday, saying it was unusual for white sharks to visit the area. I heard sending a ping from the Long Island Sound had never been done before by a white shark. So naturally I had to visit and send one off, the message read. Hello Greenwich, how are you today? Does anyone know some fun things to do here in Greenwich? I'm ready to go on some new adventures. OSRG caught, tagged, sampled, and released 7 white sharks in Nova Scotia in October. The sharks have since supported 15 projects by 25 scientists at 18 institutions. Cabot was described as a young trepid shark who's always up for a grand adventure when his Twitter account was created shortly after he was tagged. He first headed to the Gulf of Maine, a common spot for great white sharks. In November, Cabot began exploring the edge of the continental shelf off the Long Island coast, slowly making his way south. The following month, Cabot had made it to Savannah, Georgia, where he was in the company of a number of great white sharks. By January he had headed to the Florida Keys, home of underwater laboratory the Aquarius Reef Base. And the end of the month Cabot struck into the Gulf of Mexico, a common place for great whites to travel to in the middle of winter. He wasn't heard from again until April, when he pinged in South Carolina. Cabot then made his way to North Carolina, hanging out in the Outer Banks region in a tight clustering with 3 fellow OSRG sharks. OSRG expedition leader Chris Fisher told Today that Cabot and the other 3 great whites named Hal, Jefferson, and Jane were back together circling off the state. As the water warms up down south, they'll push north, he explained. They like that 60-degree-ish weather. Fisher said that as the temperature continues to heat up for summer, the sharks will move fast and with purpose toward the northeast. They will likely make their way to the south shore of Long Island to give birth, which has already put some tourist beach towns on alert. There's no need to fear, but beachgoers need to be aware, Fisher said. These things are kings of the ocean, they go wherever they want. Share this article. Cabot was back on the move last week, heading to Delaware Bay, before hitting the Long Island Sound. There were a number of shark attacks on the East Coast last summer, including 2 that took place on the same day on Fire Island.